Hello, ladies and gentlemen on YouTube, and welcome to All-Star Break for Season 9 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. So this time around for All-Star Break and going forward, we are going to be at the classic dirt track Oswego Speedway for All-Star Break. Figured it seems rather appropriate to do an All-Star event on dirt, and with Oswego being able to produce some really good racing as of late, I thought, you know what? Let's do All-Star Break here from now on. After all, this is going to be a little bit more enjoyable than the last All-Star break we had at Pensacola back in Season 8. But beside the point, excuse me for that. So, basically, how it all works for those who are new and have never known what is All-Star Break. Well, it's a non-points double event where we determine who is the best on dirt for this one time and can race in the All-Star race forever as long as they're in the series. So how to get into the All-Star race: you have to be a former All-Star race winner, a former series champion, or have won a race back in Season 8 and so far here in Season 9. That is how you qualify for the All-Star race before the break. However, we are getting ready for the All-Star Open with the 23 drivers who have not won a race in a couple of seasons or have never won a race at all, haven't won All-Star breaks, haven't won championships. They will be competing in a 20-lap dash, and the top 3 drivers will transfer into the All-Star race itself. So the number of drivers that can transfer will vary from season to season depending on how many are actually locked in. Sometimes it could be the top 2, sometimes it's the top 3, because I'd like to have a good round number for the All-Star race itself. So it varies from season to season, and because there are 27 drivers in the All-Star race itself, the top 3 are going to advance to make it an even 30. But with all that said, in just a second. Apologies for that. Let's actually take a look at the starting lineup for the All-Star Open. So we're going to go through the entire field and talk about the lineup, so to speak. Starting on the front row, it's Jessica Sheldon and Charles Belding. Row 2, we have Mitchell Collins, Cole Deaver. Row 3, Adam Garcia, Alexander Rowe. Row 4, Riley Henry, Dylan Young. Row 5, Michael Norman, Stuart Campbell. Row 6, Henry Sanford, Henry Durand. Hey, it's the Henry and Henry show. Row 7, Jackson Traeger, Daniel Bouchard. Row 8, Stephen Collin, Jesse Turner. Row 9, Arthur Xavier, Charles Sanford. Row 10, Austin LaPlante, Jay Jefferson. Row 11, Johnny Gardner, Trey Wright. And starting last is Chris Dollarton. Let's get the command to fire engines for the All-Star Open here at Oswego.
Drivers, start your engines!
All 23 drivers rolling around for the pace lap. So yes, the All-Star Open is going to be 20 laps. All-Star race itself will be 40 laps. So starting in Season 10, the points race at Oswego that comes before the All-Star stuff will be 60 laps. So there you have it with that little tidbit for Season 10 and going forward. Pace car getting ready to pull into pit road. So ladies and gentlemen, it's time to boogity 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 go All-Star racing in the open. Jessica Sheldon getting the lead the first lap, and like I said, the top 3 are going to be the ones that are going to advance into the All-Star race itself. And right now, the top 3 have been single file since the start, with Sheldon, Collins, and Belding, but we got some contenders wanting to get up into that cutoff spot in 3rd, And right now, Riley Henry is going to try and take that spot away. So Riley Henry now gets up to third, but he's maybe wanting to go for more as he's trying to get underneath, or he was trying to get underneath Mitchell Collins, but now Henry Sanford going to try and get to third. And I saw they were 4 wide. They still are 4 wide. Don't see this working very well. Okay, they settle it out, luckily. Although they are 4 wide up ahead, this may not end well. I don't know how they're keeping it together for so long running 4 wide, but now they settle back down. As drivers are getting really, really racy around mid-pack as they're trying to stride and make up all the spots they can make up. Because, like I said, the top 3 advance, and right now those top 3, Jessica Shelton, Henry Sanford, Riley Henry. But you still got plenty of time for drivers behind the 40 to make something happen, Mitchell Collins being one of them. And there's Michael Norman, who's one of the top 10 drivers in the point standings coming in, and he's looking to try and make the All-Star race himself, as Norman has been very consistent here in Season 9, hasn't gotten a win. In fact, I can't think the last time he's won a race was back in Season 7, so it's been a while since he's been to victory lane. Went winless in Season 8, so far winless here in Season 9. But yeah, he's been very, very consistent, despite all of that. Mitchell Collins, on the other hand, he's been one of the more pleasant surprises as far as the rookies. He's been a consistent rookie, but he's not been the best rookie this season. That would go to Alexander Rowe, the caution is out. Looks like for maybe a single car incident, perhaps? But I don't see anybody, so I feel like it might have been a quick spin and he recovered. I don't know. But a caution comes out here at Oswego for All-Star Open racing. Jessica Shelton has led every lap so far in the All-Star Open. Let's take a look at the replay real quick to see what brought the caution out for the first time tonight here at Oswego. I'm kind of surprised the NNSCRA officials decide to throw a caution out for something like this. So this was at the tail end of the field. Cole Deaver running the outside. Alexander Rowe in last trying to get in line behind the 3. Doesn't quite have enough room. He ends up turning the 3 car sideways here off of turn 4. But here's where it's really odd. The 3 just goes for a slide. He doesn't go fully around. He goes rear end first into the wall just a bit, kind of like a kiss into the wall. And he saves it afterwards and kept it going straight. So I am very surprised NNSCRA decided to throw a caution out for that when there was no 45-degree or more spin. He just gets sideways, gets the wall just a tad, and saved it and kept it going. So I'm really questioning why NNSCRA officials decided to throw a caution out for that. But I don't know. It's a little bit weird, but it is what it is, I suppose. But let's go ahead and take you to the restart here at Oswego. So when we get the green flag here in just a moment, it'll be 7 laps to go. So time is running out for drivers to make some big moves to get into the top 3. As right now those 3 are Jessica Shelton, Henry Sanford, Riley Henry. Rest of the top 10, Mitchell Collins, Michael Norman, Arthur Xavier, Trey Wright, Charles Belding, Austin LaPlante, Charles Sanford. Green flag is back out here at Oswego for All-Star Open time. And Shelton actually got a little bit tight right there in 1 and 2. That's going to cost her as she has led every lap so far, but now that might be broken as here comes Henry Sanford with a run to the inside. Teammates out of S4 Motorsports, and will be teammates next season in Season 10. Henry Sanford trying to clear the 0-2 for the lead, but Shelton trying to hang on in the outside line. But it looks like now Henry Sanford clears Shelton for the lead. So the first lead change here in the Open. But Shelton might be one to make a comeback at it. And Riley Henry trying to put his name in the hat to win the Open. But Arthur Xavier in the 38 trying to get into the transfer spots in the top 3, but he got tied right there in 3 and 4, cost him some time. And actually, Arthur Xavier on that previous lap before this, he had the fastest lap of the race. Of the Open, at least. But Henry Sanford trying to hold on to win the All-Star Open. Arthur Xavier's back in the hunt. He's trying to find a way around the 40 of Riley Henry so he can get into that transfer spot in 3rd. Because remember, top 3 advanced to the All-Star race itself. But time is running out, although the 38 trying to get underneath the 40 just can't quite make it. 2 laps to go here in the Open, and the top 4 are kind of on top of each other like glue almost. And Sheldon trying to get back to the lead so she can win the All-Star Open to get momentum heading into the All-Star race here in just a little bit. And she's there to the inside as the white flag is out here in the All-Star Open. Sheldon to the inside of Sanford. Can she clear this 07 off of turn 2? Not quite. He's still there on the outside, but she's going to get the advantage here in 3 and 4. And Riley Henry wanted to go up for 2nd. Checkered flag waving. Jessica Sheldon's going to win the All-Star Open at Oswego and will transfer into the All-Star race along with Henry Sanford and Riley Henry. Congratulations to Sheldon, Henry Sanford, and Riley Henry for transferring into the All-Star race itself. Great job by those 3. And despite the questionable caution, and whoa, Arthur Xavier gets sideways, nearly gets spun out on pit road, but yeah. But yes, congrats to Sheldon for winning the race. Congrats to Henry Sanford and Riley Henry for also transferring into the All-Star race. Rest of the results, Arthur Xavier tried, but comes up short, getting 4th. Trey Wright 5th. Austin LaPlante in 6th. Michael Norman 7th. Mitchell Collins 8th. Charles Sanford 9th. And Charles Belding 10th. Then the rest of your top 20. And then the rest of the field to follow. So that was our coverage for All-Star Open time. Stick around in just a moment as we are getting ready for the All-Star race itself. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to All-Star Break here at Oswego Speedway as we are getting set for the 40-lap All-Star Race event, where some of the best drivers in the history of this series are about to go at it for bragging rights and for name recognition, as they will be going at it for 40 laps here at a dirt track, and this should be exciting. So look at the starting lineup. James Qualls, the defending All-Star Race winner from last season, is on the pole with Dylan Jacobs in 2nd. Row 2, Daniel Voiles, Zachary Fitzwater. Row 3, Patrick Smith, Ryan Acosta. Row 4, Carson Gum, William Brock. Row 5, Seth Cole, Rafael LeDuc. Row 6, Dylan Poteet, Jordan Forbes. Row 7, Alyssa Drayson, Kyle Matthews. Row 8, Melissa Alexander, Ashlyn Boyd. Row 9, Henry Sanford, Keith Miller Jr. Row 10, Jessica Sheldon, Cody Lamas. Row 11, Riley Henry, Jonathan Zorline. Row 12, Caleb Kilburn, Joey Parkhill. Row 13, Matt McIntyre, Quentin Moore. Row 14, Rob Evans, Scott Groverston. Then row 15, Jordan Lopez and Aaron Macklin. Let's get the command to fire engines for the All-Star race at Oswego.
Drivers, start your engines!
All 30 drivers for the pace lap. So yeah, James Qualls, like I said, he won the All-Star race back in Season 8, last season that is, but that was on a restrictor plate track of Pensacola Super Speedway. Here, it's a dirt track, totally different, we'll see how it all plays out as the pace car is pulling into pit road. Ladies and gentlemen, boogity, 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 let's go All-Star Racing! Little bit of beating and banging going on already at the start, and it was up at the front as it was 3 wide for the lead, and Patrick Smith was the one to take the race lead over, at least for the time being. And oh man, 4 wide back here. We saw them be able to keep it together during the All-Star Open, and it looks like they're doing the same thing here in the All-Star race, despite it being a little bit more aggressive considering more drivers and are going a tad bit faster in this race as the temperatures have cooled down. So definitely going to make for some interesting racing, to say the very least. But back up at the front, however, Patrick Smith starting to pull away from everybody little by little as he's leading by almost a full second over this hornet's nest of drivers from second on back, led right now by Dylan Poteet, as Poteet, who won the All-Star race back in Season 5, is looking to go for a second All-Star win, and I think he would be the first person in the history of Marvel Studios Cup Series to win 2 All-Star races. And oh man, they are really leaning on one another at 4 wide, but they are somehow, some way keeping it together. I don't know how. That probably should have been a wreck right there, but we somehow get away with it. But while all the chaos is going on, Patrick Smith continues to just pull away from the field bit by bit as, let's see the margin here at the line. And he lost a little bit of ground as Ashland Boyd actually was a little bit faster than Patrick Smith, so Ashland Boyd looking to try and spoil the party for Patrick Smith and get up to the lead. And the lead stayed relatively the same, although Boyd was 4 thousandths faster than the 61. Let's see so far who's ran the fastest lap. Ashland Boyd, ironically, at 20.034. Boyd's still faster than the 61, but it's not really by like a crazy margin or anything, just bit by bit, it seems. Meanwhile, Carson Gum currently running in the 3rd position as battle going on for 4th. Ryan Acosta trying to clear Dylan Poteet for that position. Doesn't have him quite cleared yet. Now he finally clears him off of turn 2. So move Ryan Acosta up to 4th. And now Caleb Kilburn wanted to get up to 5th, but Acosta looking to try and make a move on Carson Gum for the 3rd spot, as it's a bit of a hornet's nest from 3rd on back to 7th, from Gum on back to Brock, as they are going at it hard for positions in the top 5. Meanwhile, I think Patrick Smith, no, he doesn't have the fastest lap. I thought I saw him run a 19.979, but no, Aaron Macklin with the fastest lap at 19.709. But where is the 6? There he is, up to 13th, and he started dead last, too. Actually, now up to 10th, so he has gained 20 spots in 12.5 laps. So maybe the 6 is going to be one to kind of watch out for later on here in the race, because he has been hauling through the field, getting increasingly fast lap times. Well, not as fast as a couple laps prior, but Aaron Macklin proven to be a man on a mission right now as he's running the preferred inside lane. Keeping an eye on this 6 car, and let's see the margin, or actually not the margin, but where he is now. 7th at the line. Meanwhile, back up at the front, Patrick Smith so far has led every lap here in the All-Star race. And it looks like he's... well, he lost a little bit of time to Ashland Boyd right there. But yeah, right now, dead last Jordan Lopez. As I'm keeping my eye out on everything going on the racetrack. But Aaron Macklin, I'm just still impressed by his performance so far. As Aaron Macklin, like I said, started dead last up to, I think that's going to be the 6th spot that he just took, and now working on trying to get up to 5th. So even if Aaron Macklin doesn't win this All-Star race, he has nothing to be ashamed of. Not even we're close to halfway and already moved up from last, now up to 5th. So yeah, Aaron Macklin's been insanely fast on the racetrack and actually gained almost a half a tenth on the leader, so I don't know, he might get close to trying to get up to the lead, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it unless something really drastic were to happen. But between the top two, it's been fairly stagnant as far as who's been faster and whatnot, because the 61 was a little bit slower than the 51, but it's not been by a crazy margin. That's the big thing, is we're now at the halfway point of the All-Star race. We got 20 laps to go, and the lead still remains about 1.3 seconds, almost 1.4 on that previous lap. But I'm also watching Aaron Macklin, and he sees the two drivers ahead of him directly, Caleb Kilburn and William Brock, but he actually wasn't super fast on that previous lap. Now he rebounds a little bit. However, it seems like the later this race goes, lap times start getting consistently under 20 seconds, like in the 19.8 to 19.9s. Because I guess maybe because the tires get a little bit warmed up, they can actually go a little bit faster. I don't know. Then again, they're racing on dirt, so I don't know how all that works out, but you know what I'm trying to say. And as I'm looking on, now Ashland Boyd's starting to lose a ton of ground to Patrick Smith. And now William Brock is being the one that's trying to be the man on the mission, as he is now right to the back bumper of the 51 of Ashland Boyd. Now wants to try and get the second and then have his sights set on Patrick Smith to get to the lead. And whoa, almost some contact between the 29 and the 51 right there. That was a close call. But William Brock trying to find a way around Ashland Boyd, but really to no avail right now. And Caleb Kilburn slowly catching back up to the two ahead of him. So maybe Caleb Kilburn will end up taking advantage of the commotion up in front of him. But so far, none of that's really come to fruition as it would turn out. And Patrick Smith almost to a 2-second lead now here in the All-Star race. So unless, like I said, unless something really drastic were to happen, I don't think anybody's going to be a challenge to the 61. However, he is coming up on lap traffic here soon, so maybe there might be a slight glimmer of hope if, like, Jordan Lopez and the drivers up ahead of him end up holding up the 61. Then maybe we'll see something happen, but I'm not going to hold my breath for it, as William Brock now finally gets up to second, passing Ashland Boyd. And he was way faster than Patrick Smith on that previous lap, so William Brock's going to have 11 laps here at the line to try and reel in the 61. Meanwhile, Aaron Macklin Still trying to reel in drivers up ahead of him, as he definitely was fast on that lap right now, or right just there. But he's still under 3 seconds behind the 61, so I don't see him getting up to the lead, but maybe get to second, maybe? We'll see if that will play out in his favor, as Patrick Smith has gone by Jordan Lopez to put him a lap down. William Brock now has to deal with a lap car if he's going to be able to try and reel in the 61, but at least now the 61 has caught up to big lap traffic now, as he's stuck now behind the points leader coming into this, Scott Groverston, as well as teammate Dylan Jacobs. But Jacobs going to be up on the outside lane. So Patrick Smith kind of boxed in a little bit. Let's see if that actually helped or not. It actually didn't really help much for the 29. And that was mostly because he had to try and go around Jordan Lopez right there. But Patrick Smith stuck in the middle as he's trying to find a way around the 42 of Groverston using the outside line. And he actually did lose about a half a second on that previous lap. So, as I said, this could be the glimmer of hope for these drivers up ahead here, or for the drivers that are also in the top 5 to maybe challenge the 61, but time's running out. 6 laps to go here in the All-Star race, and I'm almost another half second gone from Patrick Smith's lead, as he is stuck in this hornet's nest of lap traffic, and he's stuck on the outside because Scott Groverston wants to try and stay on the lead lap. But now that lead, that huge lead that the 61 had, is gone. And William Brock is now here in the mix, and he's to the inside of Patrick Smith. So because of lap traffic, we are now getting a battle for the lead. William Brock to the inside of the 61. Meanwhile, Caleb Kilburn trying to get around lap traffic himself, so he could probably put his ring in the hat. Same for Aaron Macklin in the 6. Ashland Boyd in the 51, still technically in contention, but I don't know about if it's going to play out. But William Brock now has cleared Patrick Smith with 3 laps to go now, as lap traffic still being in the way of the leaders currently. But William Brock, who took advantage of the 61 being stuck trying to get around lap cars, managed to make the move and get to the lead. But does Patrick Smith have anything for the 29? That's the question, as it's less than 2 laps to go, and Smith, I looked like he was going to go for the inside line, but to no avail in that moment. Top 5 now have gotten out of the lap traffic hornet's nest, but the white flag is out here at Oswego for the All-Star race. William Brock leading on the final lap. Can he hold off everybody behind him for the final lap? And it looks like he's probably going to, as we're getting ready to come off of turn 4 for the final time. Checkered flag waving. William Brock wins the All-Star race for Season 9 here at Oswego. Did see some great racing throughout the field, except for up at the front until the end of the race because of the lap traffic. But regardless, I'd still consider this a success, and we had no cautions here in the All-Star race itself, which is kind of weird considering we did have a caution during the Open, and it was for a questionable caution for someone just getting sideways and saving it. But regardless, William Brock wins the All-Star race, gets his bragging rights as well as name recognition forever in this series. But let's look at the rest of the results. Patrick Smith, who dominated 95% of this race, but because of the lap traffic constantly racing him, it cost him the victory. But still, nothing to be totally ashamed of, as he's going to get a second place run. Caleb Kilburn, who was pretty much top 5 all night, finishes strong in 3rd. And I gotta say, the performance of the night goes to Aaron Macklin. Started dead last, and within 15 laps was in the top 5. And was less than a second away from picking up the All-Star win, but still nothing to be ashamed of as he gets 4th. And then Ashland Boyd rounding out the top 5. And the rest of the top 10, Jordan Forbes, Rafael Leduc, Cody Lamas, Jonathan Zorlane, and the All-Star Open winner, Jessica Sheldon. Then there is your top 20. And then the remaining drivers. And actually we had a car out of the race somehow. Riley Henry. I'm not sure as to what happened with that. But regardless, that does it for our coverage here tonight at Oswego for All-Star Break. And here is the victory burnout for William Brock. But we return to points racing on Monday. Where are we heading to? Not sure. You have to wait and see. But thank you guys for watching. And this is Levi McIntyre signing off.